Hey there Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. Okay, so in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the beauty, relationships, envy and seduction of those of you who have Venus within the 7th house in your natal birth chart. However, before we do dive into today's video, make sure that you do give this video a like if you like it. Also, make sure to subscribe if you have not already, and to, of course, click that little bell icon so that you can keep yourself updated with further content from myself. And one more quick thing to mention, and that is that I have some merchandise pieces available along with some practical ebooks. So you can go to the links in the description box below if you are interested. Okay, so with all of those introductions out of the way, Venus in the 7th house, let's do this. Okay, so first and foremost, when it comes to Venus, make sure that you are looking towards your Libra house along with your Taurus house, because both of these signs are ruled by Venus within astrology, and so you can get more information there. Though if you do have Venus in the 7th house, then what this suggests is that you are quite the relationship orientated person, in that you glow when you join forces with another, or when you come together with others. There's this beauty and grace that you bring into your relationships. And the more connected and on the same page you feel, then the better you will feel about yourself and about the relationship too. Now, some would suggest that you find it pretty difficult to be single due to these reasons. And yes, this may be a potentiality with this placement, but I think it's more than that. I think establishing close relationships overall is just really, really important to you. So say, for example, you and a relative or a close friend, you fall out. That might hurt you dearly, but you might not let on above the surface. Or maybe you will do everything within your control, within your power to reconcile that relationship, but you'll still require some time to think things over before you do so. Or you might even wait for the other person to come to you, so you know where you stand with them. And this also means there's a less likelihood chance of you being hurt even more, or possibly even rejected and denied. Then again, perhaps it depends on the situation, or it depends on the sign that Venus is in, along with aspects, respectfully, because maybe you're someone who is much more passive when it comes to settling disagreements and arguments, or maybe you're someone who is more straightforward and direct, and so you prefer to be upfront about any difficulties that may arise within your one-on-one relationships. But regardless of how you go about such things, it can feel so disheartening when you and your friends or loved ones are not on good terms. In fact, you might have friends who you met in childhood well into your adulthood. Or you might put much effort into establishing and building on healthy relationships with family members, even if you drift apart at times. You might also find it challenging to cut others out of your life completely, especially those who you have formed a great bond with. Furthermore, there is a type of sharing and exchanging process that happens within your relationships, Venus in these 7th house individuals. It's like, well, you did this for me, so I'm going to repay the favor. Or it's like, let me give to you because you already give so much to me. It's as if you need to balance things out. And oh my goodness, you are masters of compromise and cooperation. You are so great at coming to a solution that both parties can agree on. And you're probably also very good at persuading others to see your point of view. You are so good at persuading others to see where you're coming from, but you will do this ever so subtly and calmly, and you won't push your opinions and your views onto others. Though to be fair, maybe again, it depends on the sign that Venus is in, but regardless of the sign, I still think you learn that compromise requires tact, diplomacy, and getting others on your side. And this means being calm and collected and rational. I mean, we all know that yelling and screaming at others to get what we want simply won't fly within our relationships. So therefore, you present your argument or your side with a type of charm, with a type of grace. And can I also say that this way of approaching things can come in handy when it comes to business and customer service. Though just following on from this point, you might actually be talented and gifted at things like sales, customer service, and forming beneficial work/business partnerships. Your colleagues might actually view you as the nice one at work, or your clients might notice how much you put them at the heart of what you provide. You might be fantastic at really recognizing what your clients and what your customers want, and then fulfilling their wishes, possibly leading to them returning and coming back for more. And you may also have a way of getting your customers and clients on your side. Plus, you may be gifted at promoting yourself to others, resulting in more attraction and traffic coming your way. How can people possibly resist your charm and your good manners? Venus in the 7th house individuals. And how can they resist your beauty as well? Now, I don't just mean your physical beauty, of course it can be, but I more so mean the effect that you have on others due to how you bring this type of beauty and elegance to your relationships. In fact, you might be such a complimentary person, someone who knows how to embrace other people's talents and gifts and their beauty as well. There's this fondness that you put out there, and in return, others grow fond of you. And even if you and certain people clash in opinion from time to time over certain topics and issues, that doesn't stop these people from liking you and enjoying your character and your personality. However, something that may occur within your relationships is rivalry, okay? This rivalry dynamic between you and others. For example, you might become jealous of those who you deem as more beautiful or as more gifted, or you might feel threatened or intimidated by others who seem to have more than you, like they have something you don't have. And in the process, you can appear quite fake, where you're lovely to said people above the surface, but below the surface you are craving so desperately to have what they possess. And you might actually start to take on other people's interests and their likes as a part of your own. However, perhaps as you grow older and you become more self-aware, you start to think for yourself more. And so you really weigh out your options as you ask yourself, are these things actually what I want or what I like? Or am I just desiring them because other people have them? Though on the other hand, perhaps it's actually a partner or a significant other who makes you aware of these qualities within yourself. Maybe they mirror how you can be, or maybe they put things into perspective by getting you to look closely at what you do actually like, what you are actually interested in. Or maybe a partner calls you out for such behaviors, and so you're left questioning your intentions and why you do things, or why you desire things, why you like certain things. Furthermore, I also think it's through another person Could be someone that you're in a relationship with, or it could be a close friend, etc. But it's through another person that your self-worth is highlighted and it's challenged. So this could look like a friend saying something that triggers an insecurity within you, or this could be a partner telling you to stop comparing the relationship that you have with them to somebody else's relationship. Or this could quite possibly be a client giving you some negative feedback or simply constructive criticism, and then you taking it as a personal attack on yourself. And so what happens from such scenarios is a type of opening up and looking into yourself. You start to unravel any feelings of lack or unworthiness that you have. Maybe you address why you take things to heart, or why you so desperately want for things to be beautiful and wonderful within your relationships. Though following on from this point, this is another thing that you might actually do within your one-on-one relationships, Venus in the 7th house individuals. You might have an idealized version of how you think things should be within your relationships, which, yes, can be wonderful at times, such as you arranging fun dates or striving for a loving future with your partner. But the moment that your partner lets you down or falls short, you might not handle it very well. And you might go to some lengths to upkeep this image of the relationship itself, leading to you not talking about any difficulties that may arise with friends, for example. So you could be really struggling deep down whilst making it seem like all is well with us. Again, perhaps this depends on the sign, and I also think with maturity and self-awareness, you realize when you're pretending, times when you're putting on that false smile. And I also think you recognize the unrealistic expectations. These unrealistic expectations that you not only put on your partners, but you also put on yourself and on others just as much. And perhaps you also learn that not everybody is going to put as much effort into their relationships as you do. And maybe by going through these things, you are able to maybe leave certain relationships behind you. You can move on more easily. And perhaps by reflecting on your own intentions and behaviors and attitudes, you get more insight into yourself, possibly leading to greater and healthier self-worth. Though I suppose a quick side note to mention is how you can be quite tit for tat within your relationships. Sure, yes, you strive for balance and fairness, but you might also go through moments where it turns into this point scoring game or situation, which isn't really the most healthy way to go about approaching relationships. It's not really the most healthy way to go about sharing and cooperating within our relationships. And I guess realistically speaking, life doesn't work like that. I mean, sometimes our friends or our partners, they really need to lean on us. Or sometimes we need to put ourselves first for a while, especially during difficult and heavier times, or during times that involve something quite huge and monumental. Though, on the other hand, I'm also not suggesting that relationships should be completely one-sided either. I just mean that the tit-for-tat point scoring can lead to dissatisfying outcomes, possibly even leading to things like resentment and bitterness. Still, however, I think you're someone who prefers to find the middle ground, Venus in the 7th house individuals. Though another thing I want to look at more closely is envy, because I think you might consider yourself as someone who doesn't get envious or jealous within your relationships or even at all. And maybe you don't get jealous easily by things that other people do have, or by relationships that you wish you had, but yet it's your jealousy that may come out in subtle ways. Or maybe you get a rush of it during certain moments, but you aren't necessarily aware that that's what it is. So for example, maybe you have an off day where you do not feel comfortable in your own skin at all, but then you see someone else who you think looks lovely, stunning. Maybe you feel slight envy or jealousy, but you won't make that clear. You might actually still compliment that person for their beauty. Then again, maybe there's times whenever you can be passive aggressive because you feel a type of way about yourself, or maybe you keep your jealousy in, but somehow it manages to show itself eventually. Perhaps through a purchase, or a selfie, or a day trip with your lover. Honestly, you might be someone who says, me? Jealous? Envious? No way. I never get jealous. Though to be fair, perhaps you're very good at picking up on when others are being envious or jealous, or especially when they're being this type of way towards you. This could be through a backhanded compliment or through a certain look. You pick up on these things and you typically refuse to react or give in. Or maybe you are someone with Venus in the 7th house who is much more reactive to such things. After all, it is you who has this gift of attracting things into your life, like love and relationships and money too. And there's also a type of seduction that you possess due to your charm and your wit and your kindness and your friendliness and your thoughtfulness. Yeah, you can be so courteous towards others, so of course others are going to enjoy being around you. Then again, maybe you think others shouldn't be envious or jealous of me because I also go through my own fair share of off days and feelings of unworthiness. In fact, you might be really, really hard on yourself, and you might also, like I said, struggle with your self-worth and with self-acceptance too. So sure, you might not show your insecurities outright. You keep these things to yourself, you keep them hidden, but people shouldn't just assume that you don't have any, possibly leading to other people putting you on a pedestal or resulting in them comparing their life to your life. Just like you can have the tendency of comparing your life to others just as much. Honestly, it can feel like a comparison game when it comes to you Venus in the 7th house individuals, but what I think is important to keep in mind is how you're on your own path. You are on your own journey, and yes, others are going to be a part of that journey. Those you love are going to be involved in your decision-making process too. But at the same time, I think it's also others who can help you look back at yourself, and they can help you look more within at your own self-worth. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video all about the beauty, relationships, envy and seduction of those of you who have Venus within the 7th house in your natal birth chart. Now, if you do happen to have Venus in the 7th house, then please let us know what you thought of this video in the comment section down below. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And of course, if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then make sure that you click that subscribe button, and also make sure that you give this video a like, remember. And I will be back with another video very, very soon. Bye!